Have you ever met someone and instantly felt like something was off? They were smiling. Their words were perfectly polite. They laughed at your jokes, but deep down in your stomach, your gut was screaming, they are lying, or they don't want to be here. We usually call this intuition, but it's not magic. It is your subconscious brain processing thousands of micro signals in real-time signals that the other person doesn't even know they are broadcasting. While people can lie easily with their words, it is almost biologically impossible to lie with their entire nervous system. If you know what to look for, the human body is a billboard displaying a person's deepest insecurities, true intentions, and hidden anxieties. Today, on Psychology Every Day, we are turning that subconscious intuition into a conscious skill. We are going to teach you how to read the room, spot a liar, and decode hidden emotions using 7 psychological tricks to read anyone instantly. Let's hack the human operating system. If you want to know what someone is really thinking, do not look at their face. The face is the most highly trained liar on the human body. We are taught from childhood to fake smiles and hide our yawns. Instead, look at the most honest part of the body, the feet. Our feet are directly wired to the limbic system, the primitive survival center of the brain responsible for the fight or flight response. Because we don't actively think about our feet, they reveal our true intentions. If you are talking to someone and their torso is facing you, but their feet are pointed toward the door, the conversation is over. Their brain has already decided to flee, and their feet are just waiting for the rest of the body to catch up. Conversely, if you approach 2 people talking, look at their feet. If they turn their torsos to greet you, but their feet stay pointed at each other, they don't want you to join the conversation. You are interrupting. Trick number 2 is a fascinating neurological reflex called eye blocking. When humans see, hear, or experience something we don't like, our brain attempts to block out the negative stimuli. In the womb, babies will cover their eyes when exposed to loud noises. As adults, this reflex evolves into subtle micro-gestures. If you ask someone a difficult question like, "Did you finish that report?" or "Where were you last night?" watch their hands. If they momentarily close their eyes, rub their eyelids, or shield their eyes with their fingers before answering, they are subconsciously trying to block out the stress of the question or the lie they are about to tell. It is their brain's way of saying, "I do not want to see the reality of this situation." Trick number 3 is the ultimate test of hidden rapport, limbic synchrony, or mirroring. When 2 people are deeply connected, trusting, or attracted to one another, their nervous systems align. They will unconsciously mirror each other's body language. If one person leans in, the other leans in. If one takes a sip of water, the other takes a sip of water. You can use this to actively test if someone is engaged with you. If you are pitching an idea or on a date, subtly change your posture, cross your legs, or rest your chin on your hand. Wait 10 seconds. If they mirror the action, they are subconsciously invested in what you are saying. Their brain is saying, "We are the same tribe." If they remain rigid or move in the opposite direction, there is a disconnect. The rapport is broken. Trick number 4 is all about how a person uses space. In the animal kingdom, power is demonstrated by claiming territory. A peacock spreads its feathers. A bear stands on its hind legs. Humans do the exact same thing. When someone feels confident, secure, and dominant, they expand. They drape their arm over the empty chair next to them. They stand with their feet wide. When someone feels insecure, anxious, or intimidated, they shrink. They cross their arms tightly, pull their ankles together, and try to take up as little physical space as possible. If you walk into a meeting and see a colleague suddenly shrink their posture when the boss walks in, you have just read their internal power dynamic hearing a single word. By the way, if you are enjoying learning the secret source code of human behavior, you are exactly the kind of person we make these videos for. Hit that subscribe button to join the community, and let's keep upgrading your psychological toolkit. Now, let's talk about the hardest thing to fake, the voice. Trick number 5, listen to the pitch shift. When a person experiences a sudden spike in stress, like when they are lying, or when they are withholding information, their autonomic nervous system kicks in. This causes their muscles to tighten in preparation for a threat. This includes the vocal cords. When the vocal cords tighten, the pitch of the voice involuntarily goes up. It might crack slightly, or just sound a half octave higher than their normal baseline. They might also suddenly need to clear their throat because stress decreases saliva production. If you ask a direct question and their voice suddenly squeaks or thins out, you have hit a nerve. Trick number 6 is the blink rate. The average human blinks about 15 to 20 times per minute, but this rate is deeply tied to our cognitive load, how hard our brain is working, and our emotional state. When someone is lying, they are juggling two realities, the truth and the fabrication. This requires massive brain power. Often, right before and during a lie, a person's blink rate will drop dramatically because they are focusing so hard on constructing the deception. But the moment the lie is out of their mouth, the moment they think they got away with it, their blink rate will suddenly flutter rapidly, up to 50 blinks a minute, as the stress is released. Watch for the stare, followed by the flutter. And finally, trick number 7. This is the golden rule of behavioral profiling. None of the first 6 tricks work without this one. You must establish a baseline. A baseline is how a person acts when they are under zero stress. If someone crosses their arms, it might mean they are defensive. Or it might just mean the room is cold. If someone avoids eye contact, it might mean they are lying, or they might just be naturally shy or neurodivergent. Before you try to read someone, observe them in a neutral state. Ask them what they had for breakfast. Notice how they sit, how their voice sounds, and what their hands do when they are relaxed. You are not looking for one specific gesture. You are looking for a deviation from the baseline. The sudden shift from relaxed hands to rubbing the neck. The sudden shift from a low voice to a high voice. The deviation is where the truth lives. Reading people isn't about judging them. It is about deeply understanding them. When you notice someone shrinking in their chair, you don't have to call them weak. You can step in and make them feel safe. When you notice their feet pointing to the door, you can gracefully wrap up the conversation. It is the ultimate tool for empathy. You are hearing the words, they are too afraid to speak. I want to know, which of these 7 tricks are you going to test out today? Let me know in the comments below. If this video gave you a new superpower, hit that like button and subscribe to Psychology Every Day.